गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन भज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन भज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुञ्ज बिहारी 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 जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadra Mai Jaya durāsadam Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gaur Premanandi Hari Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Ashtadatha during the Bhakti channel Bhaktivedanta Mishra Prabhupada ki ISKCON founder Acharya everybody founder Acharya Savior of the Holy Jagat Guru Prabhupada ki Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad-gītā ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Gaur Premanandi Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavad-gītā as it is, chapter 3, Karma Yoga, text 43. evaṁ buddheḥ param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā jahi śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam evaṁ buddheḥ param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā jahi śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam evaṁ buddheḥ param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā jahi śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam evaṁ buddheḥ param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā jahi śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam
evam buddhe param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam evam buddhe param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā jahi śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam evam buddhe param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam
evam buddhe param buddhvā saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā jahi śatrum mahā-bāho kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam
evam buddhe param buddhvā
evam buddhe param buddhvā
saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā
saṁstabhyātmānam ātmanā
jahi śatrum mahā-bāho
jahi śatrum mahā-bāho
kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam
kāma-rūpaṁ durāsadam
evam.
evam
Thus, buddheḥ, to intelligence, param, superior, buddhvā, knowing, saṁstabhyā, by studying, ātmānam, the mind, ātmanā, by deliberate intelligence, jahi, conquer, śatrum, the enemy, mahā-bāho, O mighty armed one, kāma-rūpaṁ, in the form of lust, durāsadam, formidable. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Channel on the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Purport. This third chapter of the Bhagavad-gītā is conclusively directive to Kṛṣṇa consciousness by knowing oneself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering impersonal voidness the ultimate end. In the material existence of life, one is certainly influenced by propensities for lust and desire for dominating the resources of material nature. Desire for overlording and for sense gratification is the greatest enemy of the conditioned soul. But by the strength of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, one can control the material senses, the mind and the intelligence. One may not give up work and prescribed duties all of a sudden, but by gradually developing Kṛṣṇa consciousness, one can be situated in a transcendental position without being influenced by the material senses and the mind, by steady intelligence directed toward one's pure identity. This is the sum total of this chapter. In the immature stage of material existence, philosophical speculations and artificial attempts to control the senses by the so-called practice of yogic postures can never help a man towards spiritual life. He must be trained in Kṛṣṇa consciousness by higher intelligence. Thus in the Bhaktivedanta Purport to the third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad-gītā, in the matter of karma yoga or the discharge of one's prescribed duty in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Pada Sahagana Radhika Shri Vishakha Vitamsha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Anybody reads Kannada translation? ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುವಾದ ಬೇಕಾಗಾದ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್? Okay. So we're coming to the end of third chapter. So what is the third chapter called as? Karma Yoga. And Prabhupada puts the name, the Bhaktivedanta Purport, the third chapter of Bhagavad-gītā in the matter of Karma Yoga, or the discharge of one's prescribed duty in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Prescribed duty, prescription. Right? If you go to the doctor, they give you the prescription. So for each one of us, we have a prescribed duty. Who will give the prescribed duty? Have you ever thought about it? Who will give prescribed duty? Guru. Okay. Normally, who gives prescribed duty? Normally, father. Okay. Who else? Office. Okay. What did you hear? Something somebody told. Owner. Okay. Owner. Basically, office owner. Kind of. Whoever is owning the person. Right? Society. Okay. Spouse. Okay. Yeah. The mother we left. Mother also, right? So, parents are the first guru, right? So, and then the Shastras, they tell you what is the prescribed duty. None of us know what our prescribed duties are, because we never went and consulted anybody, right? That way, Kalau Shudra Sambhava. All of us are Shudras. Shudras doesn't know what they should do. Even if you give them money, that is why Shudras are never given money, because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to engage money. Money is given only to Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Brahmanas also, they don't need money. They get whatever is required and then engage them. But interestingly, this Bhagavad-gītā chapter, in the third chapter, every chapter is important. Generally, material people, what are they interested in? Normally, what will they be interested in? Only about 40-50 people are sitting here. Half Bangalore is doing something else. What are people interested in? Sense gratification. They are interested in sense gratification. Most of us, right? Not everyone. That is why Kṛṣṇa knows what people are interested in. People are interested in having girlfriends, right? So Kṛṣṇa has a lot of girlfriends. 1 million gopis, all girlfriends, right? If you have a girlfriend and the girlfriend actually find some other boy and then runs away, what will you do? You'll sit and cry for a long time? You will also leave and go. But here, Kṛṣṇa is not like that. Even if Kṛṣṇa leaves, they will still wait for Kṛṣṇa. They are so attached to Kṛṣṇa. So they are so much attached to Kṛṣṇa that nobody wants to leave Kṛṣṇa. Once they get attached to Kṛṣṇa, they cannot leave him. So Kṛṣṇa knows people want to hear about all these things. And that's the reason people actually hear Srimad Bhagavad-gītā. The 7 days they do, right? Saptah. In that they will sit for 3 days or 4 days patiently hearing all the other things, waiting for this Raslila. Right? So, Prabhupada used to actually, many devotees used to ask Prabhupada, please actually give the Bhagavad Saptah and we want to hear about this Raslila. Raslila is actually how Kṛṣṇa used to actually interact with the gopi girlfriends. He used to actually dance with them. So Prabhupada actually told them, no, I'm not actually qualified to speak about this. They said, we are very interested to hear. He said, you may be interested, I am not qualified to speak. And after they all left, Prabhupada said, they are interested in Raskal Leela. Not Ras Leela. They are more interested in all this, thinking that they will want to do something like that. Right? But Kṛṣṇa challenges. How many girlfriends you have? 1, 2, 3, 1 million I have. And it's increasing. When you actually talk more and more, Matajis want to become Kṛṣṇa's consorts. They want to actually serve Kṛṣṇa so nicely. So the number of girlfriends that Kṛṣṇa has is increasing. He is putting a challenge for everyone. You are talking about one or two. So how many I have? See, that's one topic people are interested in. Then what is the other topic they will be interested in? Once they get frustrated about girlfriend, they want to settle. Right? So called settling. So they get married. When they get married, Kṛṣṇa says, okay, you are talking about marriage, no? I also get married. But then 400 square feet, 2-bedroom house, we can provide. He provides 16,108 palaces. And he challenges everyone. You want to get married. You know what is marriage and all. How many marriages can you manage? How many wives can you manage? I think in some of the Muslim community they have this polygamy, right? So I don't know how they manage it. but Kṛṣṇa actually had 16,108 consorts, wives. And he had independent palaces. And he's challenging everyone. He wanted to hear all those things. And he did a perfect grihastha, what has to be done. Husband, what is supposed to do. Getting up early in the morning, doing the puja, taking a bath, all these things. Everything he did perfectly, as a husband supposed to do. Show a duty, right? He shows that. Because that's something, that's called Dwarka Lila. Right? This is Vrindavan Lila. In Dwarka Lila, it's all about how to run a family, right? And then what is the affection one should show towards the spouse. All those things are happening. This is something people want to know. Everyone wants to know what is the other family is doing, right? I am better than that person. You are comparing me with them. So this is what he said. Kṛṣṇa says, okay, you want to compare with me. Come. So he gives that kind of, messages. A lot of pastimes around that Dwarka Lila. And the third one, mostly when people become old, youngsters don't like this so much. What is that? Old people love it. They want to hear more and more about this. Voting. What is that? Politics. Old people love politics so much. Especially very young people, they don't like politics. These days, even youngsters are starting understanding this thing. And Kṛṣṇa is telling, you want to know politics? I will show what politics is. And the whole Mahabharata is full of politics. And what politics is? Not ordinary politics, family politics. Left wing, right wing, with eyes, without eyes. No, Dhritarashtra is without eyes, right? He can't see. Blind politics, right? Everything. You name what kind of politics, he's done that. And after all the politics is all done, that's Mahabharata. If somebody actually puts a, notice saying that we are actually having Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, not many people will come. You tell about Mahabharata Katha, everyone wants to come. Actually, there is a study. You all know about Mahabharata serial, right? I think I was much a kid that time. Now the latest version of Mahabharata, more posh Mahabharata has come. But previous one was quite interesting too. And in fact, during Mahabharata, they took a study. Even the crime rate, everything had come down. Even the thieves wanted to actually see Mahabharata. Roads were empty. It's like a match, a World Cup match. The roads were empty when Mahabharata morning was happening. So many people, billions of people. Even today, you tell them Mahabharata, they want to actually hear some politics, some juicy katha will be there. Somebody ran away with somebody. All these kind of, some katha that people want to hear more and more. Right? And after everything is done, especially if you put Mahabharata Katha, then people will come for that. And this is done, and after this, what did Vyasadeva put? Bhagavad-gītā. But actually, he wanted to actually introduce the war. The war was actually going to start. Fight is going to start. And especially when fight was going to start, people will say, hey, what is this extra thing? We want to hear the fight because everything is done. All politics is done. Externally, Kṛṣṇa is going as a messenger to the Pandava-dūta, right? He went to the Kauravas. He's telling them, please, the Kauravas are Pandavas are your own brothers. Please give them at least one village. I beg you on behalf of Pandavas. And in Duryodhana I was wondering like that, maybe I should just give them. As Paramatma is sitting inside, no, don't give them anything. I want the war. Then Duryodhana says, so this is politics. Kṛṣṇa is actually so, because he wanted to wipe out all the demonic forces. So he does all this, it's politics only, but he enjoys this. Right? And right after that, the war is going to begin. And it says, before the war there is one small thing. Vyāsadeva says, come on, all Bhagavad-gītā. Please hear this. So he put the Bhagavad-gītā in between. The other way people actually, when they come to the Bhagavad-gītā, then they start getting bewildered. This has to be... How many of you understood the shloka? What is written here? That is, thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty and Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, which is Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. A tough shloka for an evening class, right? So, but Vyasadeva wrote all these things. He actually put it in such a way, concise manner. War is going to start right before the war. He gave this message. And Arjuna and Kṛṣṇa contemplated and spoke about all these things. So, the important aspect here is the Bhagavad-gītā is actually the core of whole Mahabharata. And here, about 6 verses back, Arjuna asked Kṛṣṇa, even though someone who does not want to actually commit sinful activities, right? Why is they forced to act? Why are they forced to commit sinful activities? Many a times we also think, from today onwards I am going to chant 16 rounds Hare Kṛṣṇa. Then we go outside, again the dark style will come. Today 1 round only. Tomorrow Krishna will chant more. Okay? Sarvadharma Pachya will hear everything, you go outside. Tomorrow just see, early morning he'll get up and chant, 4:30 he'll come, alarm tuck, and say, just half an hour. Then say 7 o'clock, oh what time? So they have to get up and run for the office, right? So we always do this. Unless until one is really serious and they get association with senior devotees, we always miss it out. But for that question that Arjuna asked, what forces someone to behave, to commit sinful activities? Kṛṣṇa is answering. And he says the root cause of all this thing is the lust. And he says, with spiritual intelligence, understanding that we are not this material body, one should overcome this lust. It's very easy to say that, how do I overcome this? Why is it so difficult to overcome lust? What is lust? If you understand what is lust, why is Kṛṣṇa telling this? We can easily understand how to overcome lust and what is this lust, why is it so difficult. In fact, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, who has actually written the whole biography of Lord Chaitanya, mentions 2 things. One is called the love, another is called the lust. You might have heard about this, right? What is love? Any activity that you do for Kṛṣṇa's pleasure is called love. Any activity. If you are doing it for Kṛṣṇa's pleasure, it's called love. And any activity you do for your own pleasure, it's called lust. Simple. Right? Any activity. Normally people think lust means kāma. Kāma means only about opposite sex. That's not actually really lust. That's one perversion. That's become common in Kali Yuga. That's why they say lust means you are a very lusty guy. Then they'll actually accuse some person, don't go near him. But everyone is lusty. You might be lusty for food, you might be lusty for comfortness, something or other. It's all kāma. Kāma-rūpaṁ, durāsadam. You have to overcome this insatiable. It doesn't end. Why doesn't it end? That's a question you have to understand. Okay, all living entities are originally Kṛṣṇa's part and parcel, and we stayed with Kṛṣṇa in the spiritual world. So we have a very loving attachment with Kṛṣṇa. We all love Kṛṣṇa so much in the spiritual world. Now, when you come out of the spiritual world, material world, love is perverted. It's actually ulta, or it's transformed to become lust. What happens? Your attachment to Kṛṣṇa, your love to Kṛṣṇa, same thing changes for love to this body. That's called not love, it's called lust. So we actually loving so-called this body and anything related to the body, that's called lust. Now, since our attachment to Kṛṣṇa is always there, it's eternal. Lust also will be eternal. Then how will you actually get out of lust? You cannot get out of lust. Unless this lust is transformed back to loving Kṛṣṇa. There is no other way out. Now, love, the lust, is the root. Now what happens in the material world? Now you start desiring something. If that desire is fulfilled, you want more. So greed starts there. Next root. What is the root of everything? Lust. From lust what came? Greed. How did greed come? You actually have a desire. The desire is fulfilled. Now you want more of that. Greed starts. If in case that desire is not fulfilled, you become anger. You become angry. Correct? You become very angry. Like, oh, God is not giving me this, or why is this not happening? For anything you decide. Then anger also starts. So these three things, kāma, lobha and krodha. These three are the royal road to hell. It will pull you down to the lowest level. So one has to overcome that. To overcome that, lust is the one you have to attack. How do you attack lust? Transform the lust for service to Kṛṣṇa. Start, whatever activity you are doing, start thinking that this activity I have to do for Kṛṣṇa's pleasure. In the beginning it might be difficult, but eventually you will overcome that. That's all you have to do. Without that you cannot. For this, what you need? Strength. Spiritual strength. And how do we get the spiritual strength? Chanting of Hare Kṛṣṇa is one of them. Yes, by chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By doing that, you start getting spiritual strength. Association with devotees. When you see everyone else is chanting nicely, everyone is understanding this katha, then you start actually getting the taste for it. Then you start, when you start serving Kṛṣṇa, you get a taste. Just like somebody gives you a gulab jamun. You all know gulab jamun, right? Oh, yeah. So when you eat the gulab jamun, you get the taste for it. Imagine you have tasted gulab jamun, you put it in your mouth, it is bitter. What happens? What do? You spit it out, right? So there should be a rasa. Only then you feel like continuing eating that gulab jamun. Right? So if that rasa is not there, you cannot continue eating it. Similarly, when you serve Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa starts reciprocating. When he reciprocates, then that taste increases. Then you feel like continuing more. But that has to be done in the right method. With Prabhu was explaining yesterday, the last class about Guru. If Guru actually allows you to do such an activity, Kṛṣṇa accepts it. If you do serve Kṛṣṇa without an authority, Kṛṣṇa doesn't actually, he'll say, okay, you first come through a Guru. So that's very important. That's why sadhana bhakti, most important thing in sadhana bhakti, serve a Guru, automatically Guru will actually say, okay, serve Kṛṣṇa. Guru Kṛṣṇa prasadapaya bhakti rata bija. Bhakti actually starts when you actually serve Guru, not before that. So that's how actually you can start getting the spiritual strength. You hear more about Kṛṣṇa, you hear more about how do you actually follow all these principles. Then you will automatically get the strength to progress in spiritual life. So Kṛṣṇa has created this world in such a way nobody can be happy here. It's a fact. Imagine on a Sunday there is actually IPL match going on. Everyone is sitting, you're also sitting and watching. Right? You're watching the match with so much of fun and things like that. And you turn around, there's a cobra also sitting and watching. And cobra is watching, not the TV, you. No, when the cobra watching you, will you have the same fun like how you are actually watching the IPL? That's why Kṛṣṇa says in the next chapter, we'll start finding sense gratification is actually miserable. But we don't realize that. So that's why it's called, this whole sense gratification is also called as illusion many times in the Shastras. So cobra can strike any time, right? Both of them are watching only. You watching something else, cobra is watching you, right? So we have to understand that any activity that we do, there is some amount of misery built in. And especially in Kali Yuga, there is a shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam which says people throw up parties, they go for fun, but all of them internally have two things. One is shoka and the other one is dukkha. Everyone has some, all of us here, in our mind, we have one, at least one sadness. We want, if that was there, life would have been better. And also some shoka. Shoka means lamentation. And dukkha means sadness. Right? So all of us will have something that's inbuilt. How does one overcome that? How do you become happy? Kṛṣṇa says the bhaktas actually have the solutions. What is the solution? Hearing about Kṛṣṇa. When you hear about Kṛṣṇa, what happens? When you hear more and more about Kṛṣṇa, you start understanding, oh, such a wonderful person he is. I should start becoming friends with him. So when you start making friendship with him, automatically this so-called shoka and dukkha disappears. Because you know actually there is no point. You will anyways take care. Whatever you want to do, you will do. So your mentality will all change. That's bhakti. Bhakti is not simply going and ringing a bell, then taking one prasad. All this thing you do, go around yourself or go around the deity. This way, that way, it doesn't matter. Something we all do, right? But this is not bhakti. This is just a ritual. So one has to understand what are we doing it for? Who is it? Who is the person who actually doing it for? So when you do that, then you become very peaceful. And bhaktas have this solution. You have to hear more and more about Kṛṣṇa. The more you hear about Kṛṣṇa, you will start loving him. Because Kṛṣṇa is actually all sweet. Our Saint Purandradas has sung Harinama about like Alunama. What is that? There's one what you call Sakara is compared to sugar. Right? It's like the holy name, Kṛṣṇa's name is compared to sugar candy. Prabhupada mentioned many times. You know what is the sugar candy? What is sugar candy? Huh? Kalkanda? Kalsakra? Is it kalsakra actually or is it misri? Misri, no? Same. Hindi. Same. Sugar basically. Right? Why is it actually compared to sugar? Because sugar doesn't have anything else. Right? Just sugar. If you take any other sweet, say Mysore Pak or something like that, gulab jamun, you have sweet also, but it also has something else. Some other ingredients. So if you segregate everything, sweet is say 20%, 30%, other things also there. But in Kṛṣṇa's case, he's fully sweet. Because he's fully sweet, he can't think of anything bad to anyone. He always thinks about good for everyone. Because he's from where we all come from, him only. So, but unfortunately, because of material nature's influence, we think that God is actually doing something wrong to me. Why is God not giving this? Why should this person die right now? All these things we think. But actually Kṛṣṇa knows perfectly what has to be given to us. And if you actually take his shelter, we will always be happy because the sweetness of Kṛṣṇa is uncomparable. The gopis actually started tasting it. Right? So we have to build that relationship with Kṛṣṇa. Then you will start getting the taste. Without that, you will not get that. When you see Kṛṣṇa, his attractiveness is in all aspects is very attractive. But we have to actually go and talk to him, spend time with him. When you spend time with him, how do you spend time with him? If you are loving someone, how do you spend time? Chanting is one of them. Imagine actually you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and say you call him Rahul, and then you go, you're gone mad or what? Hey, why are you calling me so many times? But I love you so much, right? So they will say, okay, maybe this person is really attracted to me, but Kṛṣṇa is actually a person again. When you chant his holy name, automatically he will start reciprocating. And Kṛṣṇa's name is not ordinary. It's not like ordinary material name. It's spiritual name it is. When you stand, because Golokera Premadana, Harinama Sankirtan. This Harinam is not from material world. Prabhu explained it about Harinam in the last class, but it's like because it's very pure, it comes from the spiritual world, it has that power. Whatever disturbance you have, everything gets settled by just hearing the holy name. And you chant Hare Krishna, and then what else way you can actually love a person? You give gift, no? You have Mother's Day, Father's Day, Dog's Day, Cat's Day, everything they have introduced. Every day is one day. Car day, monkey day, everything, anything you think they have one day for that. So you give a gift on that day, right? So give a gift to Kṛṣṇa, give a flower or who is Kṛṣṇa's most favorite people? His devotees. Huh? Vaishnavas. Because Kṛṣṇa loves devotees, his devotees. So you serve the devotees, he becomes very happy. Love me, love a dog. No, Prabhupada used to tell this. If you want to actually love someone who is very, very rich, he has everything, You name it, he has it. What's the easiest way to actually please him? You go, either if he has people, children, small child, you give him one sugar candy or something, and then they become happy. Or if you have a dog, oh, very nice dog. So you actually go and then pat the dog and they become happy. Yeah, it's a very international dog. Dog is a dog, but then... So they do that and immediately they become very happy. Yeah, you're patting my dog, that means you are my friend. Right? Love me, love my dog. So like that, if you pat, not mentally, physically, but then you serve the Vaishnavas, Kṛṣṇa becomes very happy. You feed them or give them some gift. Don't give them some big material gift, but then give them prasadam or something like that. Right? In the Bhakti Rasamrita, all these things are explained, or even in the nectar of instruction, how do you actually serve the Vaishnavas. Right? So we actually start engaging like that. Then Kṛṣṇa becomes happy. So that's the way. Or read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-gītā, hear about him more and more. Then you will automatically start loving him. Right? So these are the processes given, but we have to hear more and more. The more we hear the holy name, these things, automatically you will start loving him. Why are we discussing all these things? Remember, lust has to be transformed. For transforming lust, you have to love him. Because lust cannot be removed. If you leave lust like that, roots will form, greed, anger, everything will come, right? All the 6 anarthas will start from lust. But that's why Kṛṣṇa is saying, first remove the lust. It will burn your heart. But you have to... It's insatiable, he says. Insatiable means never stops. Why? I explained, right? Because lust is transformed from love. Our relationship with Kṛṣṇa is eternal. Our love to Kṛṣṇa is eternal. Then lust also is eternal only. So you cannot overcome that. That's why Prabhupada mentioned in the Purport, you can actually do some gymnastics saying that, they say immature stage of material existence, philosophical speculation and artificial attempts to control the senses by the so-called practice of yogic postures. Sit like this and like everything upside down, but still you cannot control lust. Just like, Vishwamitra Muni, how much he controlled. What happened? Menaka came and said, chink, pink, something she did and immediately he went mad completely and then Shakuntala was born. Right? So it's not so easy. Even though they try anything and everything, all these great personalities have controlled their so-called senses so much, but never succeeded. Not one person has succeeded just by physical gymnastics. But if you see Haridas Thakur, just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, he was able to control his senses. Why? But the mood of chanting Hare Krishna was not to think, oh, this lady, no, I will see Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No, not like that. He wanted to please the Lord. That was the mood. The mood was to please Kṛṣṇa, not to impress others. So if you chant in a way that it's going to please Kṛṣṇa in that mood, then Kṛṣṇa will protect. Otherwise, Hare Krishna. You can't do anything. Then you will fall down. Then you will actually move in a different direction altogether. Many brahmacharis are warned. In fact, we become more serious. If you become more serious in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, automatically Kṛṣṇa will help you with everything. In fact, you heard about this sannyasi named Danavir Maharaj? Anybody knows here? Danavir Maharaj, Danavir Maharaj is a very, very dedicated devotee. He is a sannyasi. He speaks very softly because his throat is... The vocal cords are very weak. He was actually part of the American... he was in America, so he was inducted to the Israeli army. He was supposed to be part of the army. It's a real story. In the 80s. So he was inducted to the Israeli army. But he was Prabhupada disciple. The American army actually has their own rules and regulations to follow. So he went and told the army commander, since I am part of this, he was a soldier. So I'm supposed to be part of this army, but I need some time for doing my religious duties. So the commander asked him, okay, how much time do you need? I need 6 hours. What? 6 hours? What are you going to do with 6 hours? He said, I get up in the morning, and then I have to actually take a bath, and after that I have to bathe the deities, and I have deities and other Krishna deities, then I have to actually put them new dress, then I do arti, then I cook something, I feed them something, and after feeding everything, I have to actually give a Bhagavatam class. And since nobody is there, I only have to hear that also, right? So it will all take time. It takes 6 hours at the most. He said, okay, what is? So they have a rule, like if somebody is asking for religious duties, we have to follow them. So he said 6 hours is okay. So I was doing it publicly every day. I was doing Aarti, and I was doing this for quite some time, about a month. Every day, without fails. He has to chant Hare Krishna. He was chanting for 2 hours and he continued this. Then that all of them are looking at this and they are all getting affected. All the soldiers are saying, like, we are actually doing, early morning you're supposed to run, right? Get up and run with all the guns and things like that. But this fellow is sleeping on all these things doing, what is happening? So, the soldiers went and complained. They went to their priest and told, if he is getting 6 hours, we should also be getting something like that. So the commander said, okay. But the priest actually asked the commander, give us also time. He said, listen, I am watching him, he is very sincere. For you, 15 minutes is more than sufficient. What will you do for more than 15 minutes? Right? If you are going to pray to God, if you go to the temple and pray to God, how much can you close your eyes and stand there? Right? Or even if you go to the church, 15 minutes is too much time. Right? Do all these things, wherever you want to eat anything, but then that's time. So after that, when you come back, you don't have anything to do. So you really don't need so much time. Then they all accepted, yes, we don't need so much time, let him continue. So, but then this commander went and told Dhanavir Maharaj, everyone else is becoming envious of you because you are getting so much time to do this. I will give you a separate room. You do your sadhana there, whatever you call, you continue to do it. So he got a room and he used to do this for a long time. Then there were all these trainings were all going on. They were supposed to shoot enemies and they were training. So some people came and started explaining how to shoot. And when you are shot, what will you do? Like this. And everyone had to answer all these things. Dhanavir Maharaj never attended all those things. He was just doing this in the morning. Sincerely was doing. Eventually, their assessment came. So they started asking questions. They asked Dhanavir Maharaj also, if somebody shoots you, what will you do? He said, I will say, Hare Krishna. And then, when you actually are going to shoot, how will you shoot them? How will you kill people? So he said, body is already dead. The soul is ever active. It cannot be dead. Right? The soul cannot be burnt by fire, can be drowned by water. He explained all this. Right? Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dharti pavaka. He said, that fellow's mind was going around here and there, like, what is this fellow? He said, I don't know the answer. So he said, okay, fine. This class is over. Then he came and asked him, Dhanavir Maharaj, what is the answer for this? I never actually, so anybody asked me this, okay, body is dead and soul is there, all these things. Maharaj explained him everything. Because of his purity, this commander became his own disciple later. Right? So, because of his purity, so if you are sincere to do your sadhana, Kṛṣṇa will provide you all the facilities. You can overcome this lust if you can actually follow the principles. But if you don't actually take Kṛṣṇa as your friend and then consider what instructions he is giving, then you cannot blame Kṛṣṇa for that. Correct? You cannot say my condition is like this. There's actually Bhakti-siddhanta Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's guru, tells a nice story. There's a story book called Upadesha Upakhyane. You can buy it in the BBT, it's available, it's a nice book. A lot of stories are there, very, very instructive stories. So one story is like this. Once, a devotee actually attended, one very gentleman attended a Bhagavad Gita. He attended the Bhagavad Gita and then he was very impressed. And they said, like, Vaishnava Seva is actually highest. He said, okay, Vaishnava Seva I should do every day. I will take one person and go and feed them at home. His wife didn't like it. All I brings every day one person. I have to make so much of dishes. And he keeps feeding and they are going. So I'm not happy to get these kind of people at home. It's not so good to get so many people. And then every day 2-3 new sadhus used to come. Every day new sadhus used to come. So she thought I should do something. So one day a couple of sadhus came and sat at home. So she took tong, you know tong? Tong is a chapati, chimta they call? What do you call? Chimta. Something you all know, tong, the mothers you know. So she took that and she was trying to hide that under the sofa, under the table, wherever it was possible. And these sadhus were looking at this and like, what are you doing this? Why are you actually trying to hide this? So she told, actually my husband is very fond of sadhus. Said, yeah, we know. That's why he's invited us. But actually he takes this song and heats it in fire. He takes it and then catches their nose and then pisses it. They're like, Hare Bapare. He never told us this. Yeah, he does that. That's why see, I'm actually protecting you, all of you. I'm taking this tongue and then hiding it so that he will not know it. They got scared and they got up and ran away. By the time the husband came back, I said, why are they running? You know what? These people, sannyasis, always, they call themselves renunciants, but always attached with something or other. They say, like, actually, hardly we make chapatis at home, but this tongue is not there with us. Can you give us the tongue? I said, no, Baba, I need tongue for cooking. How can I give it to you? So they say, what a foolish woman you are. He carried the tongue and started running behind them. Hey, Sadhu, please come, take this side. He was running, but there was a miscommunication there. The Sadhu thought he's coming to do this, and then they ran faster, right? So they actually started running and here and there. So that way, this lady was very happy. No Sadhu is going to come back, right? So this kind of condition can happen at home. One spouse may become devotee, other spouse like, I lost my spouse for this Kṛṣṇa, right? But understand that if you actually are sincere, a day will come, it will change. But you should actually have the faith and not miss the association of devotees. How will you show that you are very, very serious to Kṛṣṇa? How will you show that you are a sincere student to the class teacher? How?
Attentive in the class.
Huh?
Attentive in the class.
You are attending the class. You attend the class first of all. Attentive is the physically present, mentally absent, nobody will know. At least sit in the class. Yes sir, okay, you put the presentation, what you call that, just attendance, right? Then say, okay, at least he's attending my class now. He is attending or she is attending my class, they'll give at least pass mark, even if they don't write anything, right? Because they are sincere students. Right? So, likewise, if you attend satsangs, hearing about Kṛṣṇa, specifically from the parampara, Kṛṣṇa becomes very, very kind, saying that, okay, these people are at least attending. Otherwise, what is the point? Where will these people understand what I am given in Bhagavad-gītā, right? Because it's not easy to. This today's sloka is, I read, you want to read me to read again? It's tough to understand. But if you simply sit and hear about Kṛṣṇa, the more you hear about Kṛṣṇa, automatically you start getting the taste for loving Him. That's a process. That's the simplest process. You don't have to break your head. You read because Kṛṣṇa is asking us to read. But by doing this process, very easily we can progress. Correct? So it's what do I say? We can try everything that is available in this world to make ourselves happy. But it's like there was a joke one of the devotees was making. There's an apartment called Sukha Shanti apartments. Okay? And down there put under work and maintenance. Right? So you'll never be able to actually get that Sukha Shanti so called. If you think you can get Sukha Shanti, you have to keep working hard again and again. So long you have to work hard that by the time you finish that I have done this, another problem will creep in. Just like this cobra watching, right? So you'll never be happy in this world. So we have to get that very clear. The more we actually get attached to Kṛṣṇa by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we take one single vow or commitment. For example, Ekadashi is coming on Tuesday. We decide, okay, for Krishna's pleasure I will follow the Ekadashi. I normally won't follow Ekadashi, I want to eat. Okay, but he likes if I follow. Okay, it's called upavas. Upavas means, vas means staying, upa means close. So the more you do Ekadashi, you become closer to Kṛṣṇa. It's also called Harivasara. That means you get closer to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa becomes very, very happy just because you are compromising something for His sake. That's love. Right? So we should start somewhere. Okay, every Ekadashi I'll try to follow. Maybe one round extra I will chant on that day. When you do that, Kṛṣṇa becomes more pleased. Okay, you're doing all these things for my sake. That's love. Right? So your lust is going to get transformed to love. And more you actually, if 30% lust, 70% love, so that increases, Kṛṣṇa's reciprocation also increases. 100% love, 0% lust, that's when you can see Him face to face. You can actually interact with Him. Till that point you will not be able to see Him. It's like if somebody is cooking khichdi, but you cannot see the khichdi, but you can get the smell, no? Something is happening. That That feeling you will get 50% lust, 50% love. Krishna is interaction is there, but you will not be able to see him. You can see him only if you have 100% love for Krishna. Right? So that's the simplest way to understand this shloka. You have to transform lust to love. Okay? Any questions? Yes.
So, Guruji, you talked about the interaction between us and Krishna, devotee and Krishna. So, you serve him and he reciprocates.
Yeah.
So, where does the role of the Guru come in?
Where is the role of Guru? So, let me try. I'll give you a very simple logic. Okay, so imagine actually someone on the road. You are sitting and you are at home with your family. Your father and mother, all of them are there. So someone on the road is beating some